Welcome everyone. Oh my goodness, I love that it says you are live because I'm always just kind of like looking around trying to figure out, am I alive or live? And yes, indeed I am. Welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday. Which normally when we do Jewel Loom School, we're on Thursdays. But if you haven't heard, I have decided to add Tuesdays as well. And so you can get a double dose of Jewel Loom creativity and inspiration now every week. And I'm really super excited about that. And got some people coming in. I love, Jeanette, how you always say hello from the Bronx in New York City. She just like came in, double snapped. And said, I am in the house. I love that. Absolutely love that. So super cool. Hey, Sandy. So fun to see everybody coming in on a Tuesday afternoon. Hello, hello, Cynthia. So fun. And Jeanette, absolutely love what you made with the June blue Chalcedony kit. It's absolutely gorgeous. The a bracelet was the project, and she made earrings in addition to that. And so always just makes me super excited when people take the kit and then create something. So hey, Sabrina, love it, love it, love it. Everyone's coming in, and so cool. Lisa, so fun. Oh, working and watching. I love that. WW. Hey, listen, for those of you that are joining and you're just like, who's this woman? Let me introduce myself. I'm Juliana Jules Avalar. I am the inventor of the original blue Jewel Loom portable bead weaving loom. And so you can use the loom for making bracelets, making earrings, making pendants. You can warp. I always say if it's not moving, it's fair game. And so we tend to use a lot of wildfire around here, but we also play with different fabrics and fibers such as yarn. And my favorite, hemptique, which is a hemp cord, a sustainable hemp cord that I absolutely am in love with. And Joan, they make clothes. Like I was on their website the other night and they make clothes as well, like, which you can, it's hemp. So I'm just like, oh, I think I need something. I don't know what, but so anyway, we have a shop. It's called jewelloom.com. That's where the e-commerce lives, all of the looms and beading supplies and all kinds of wonderful things. And in addition to that, there is Jewel Loom School, which houses all of the courses and some free content in addition to what you can find here on the YouTubes, which, by the way, make sure you like the videos. Would so appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and hey, share the love if you're up to it, right? So that would be incredibly grateful for that as well. Let me just say a couple more quickies here. Stephanie's in the house and Gloria's in the house, and everything's just moving so quickly. It's hard to like keep up, but I appreciate you. Bonnie is here from Hawaii. I love that. I love that. Very super, super cool. So, okay. So listen, over the weekend, I was finishing up the monthly workshop and I okay, let me tell you more about the workshop. The Creative Soul monthly workshop is a project that I design and then I curate all the items that you need to make that. And so people will subscribe to that. You don't have to subscribe. If there's anything left, then you can just buy every month. But this past month, we did this gorgeous blue chalcedony. And when I hold it up like this is exactly what excites me. So very Morocco, very, like when you're overseas and, oh, where was I? Jules, grab your mind. Was it a restaurant in Australia? I think so. And I just remember seeing these tiles on the wall. And of course, being here from California, we've just got really beautiful tiles from Mexico. But I love the look of this with the blue chalcedony gemstone diamond cut. It's got a 2-hole it's got 2 holes, and then that black and gold mixed with all the other colors just makes everything really pop. It's just so absolutely gorgeous. So this was our June project, and by the way, there's only 1 kit left. Okay, so if you're interested, it is on the website under bead kits, and it'll come with a course. And you can just buy that as a one-time deal. You don't have to subscribe. We also did a gorgeous little pendant, and we'll have to figure out how to show off Jeanette's earrings because she also used the same materials and made a really super cool, cool pair of earrings with that. But anyway, so this weekend I was taping the final segments. So what I do is in the Jewel Loom School, I go and tell you bit by bit how to make this. And this particular project ended up being 21 segments. Um, Taking it off the loom with how I thought it was going to go and how it did go didn't quite go as planned. And so originally I thought, oh, I'm just going to load what I did for the course. I'm just going to load that up for the Tuesday live and all will be well in the world. Didn't go that way. Okay. Because it took like, I think there's 7 segments to removing the bracelet off of the loom and then adding the strand clasp. And it's because of the way that I do it, right? Like I try to never go over 10 minutes. And if I need to tell you something in 51 seconds, believe it or not, that's one of the how-to videos from this weekend. I upload it because we're not together physically. And so I tend to show you my boo-boos or what's happening in the process of what I thought was going to happen, but this is what we really got to do. And I feel like it empowers everybody, empowers the students to know that, okay, well, if that happened to me, this is what I would do. And so I don't like sugarcoat anything. I really just I tape in the raw, okay? And so yeah, and Jeanette's saying the realism is very refreshing in those videos. I really like that you didn't edit out the stumbling blocks and showed how to deal with them. Thank you so much because I I just don't think that would be my, my truth, right? I wouldn't I want you to experience what I happen to experience. So let me tell you, my original intention was to take the blue chalcedony bracelet off the loom the same way that Danielle Wicks recently did in a how-to video with a seed bead bracelet. So you may or may not remember where, and she's done this with the earrings too. And I believe Trisha has also done this technique um, where you very so slightly bend the jewel loom so that you can remove the warps off the back while they're still in looped and you don't cut. So what we learned is that number one, you need to start that process by tying off on one of the side buttons of the jewel loom. You can't do that if you tie off on the back button like I do 10 times out of 10. And so that was the first thing. And then the second thing was that even though I was able to pull, where'd they go? Even though, see, I've hidden them so well. Even though I was able to pull those top warps down and make them hide, they had to, the wildfire had to sit over 4 beads. So they're never going to hide like they do on a seed bead bracelet. I know that you're just, I apologize to those people that are new and you're just like, what is she talking about? But if Joan finds that tutorial, hopefully, and you watch what Danielle did with the seed bead bracelet, it'll all make sense. So long story short, I did not upload those videos for the live today because there was just too much, too much. Okay, detour, just a lot. a lot of detours and a lot of like having to think about, okay, well, how am I going to resolve this? How am I going to do this? And that's the really cool thing about the monthly workshop is it's like you just get a lot. You get truth and you get the raw, like how to make something. And what I really love is when the students take what I've taught and then they go and do their own thing. And this month, I'm really actually surprised at how many people did different things with the diamonds because they're a little challenging. You got to kind of go in the holes at an angle. And so, yeah. So, okay. Well, that's just kind of like the backstory to why we were here, why we are here, and what we are doing. Um, and here's the tutorial showing how Danielle finished that bracelet. Okay, so if you go in, I think she started it at go to a half an hour. Like I think it was like 30 minutes in at least, and then you'll be able to, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you'll be able to go in and you'll be able to see that, and hopefully you'll understand that when your warps are not all kissing next to each other, like you haven't skipped any grooves, you can do that technique that Danielle did, but it didn't work for me on both ends because of what I just told you. So without further ado, what I do, yeah.
I don't know where the link came from because I copied it from the shop's page, but it copied a link from Liquidation Channel.
Oh, what in the world?
So I'm re-adding the link. So
okay,
ignore
that's
the
odd.
first link. Okay.
I wonder if it hit the commercial. You know what I mean? Like if there was
I
an
usually copy it from the address bar and I double check to make sure that I did it. So I don't know what happened because I haven't been on Liquidation Channel in months. So
just yesterday.
Well, I guess it's probably been about 6 weeks. I shouldn't say months, but
oh my gosh, that is so stinking funny. Yeah.
I just wanted to
no
let
worries.
you guys
So just
know.
don't go to the Liquidation Channel. Okay. So let's see. I think I have to keep scooting over here. All right. So all right, I'm going to pull up my old sleeves here and get to work. So what I ended up doing so that I could just show you how to attach the 4-strand clasp, which by the way, if you have the Jewel Loom Inspirations book and if you don't, you should just go get it on Amazon because you'll get free shipping, and I can't do that, and so I don't carry it. So Amazon has my book, and it's just pretty much the easiest way to secure it. But anyway, there is a chapter in there on sewing on the clasp and very detailed images, still images. It's a button clasp, it's round, and so it's literally the same exact way that I'm going to show you how to do this. So, as mentioned on this one end, you could see that all the warps disappeared. And again, that's because I was able to do half of Danielle's technique. Okay. And we're going to have to definitely do a new tutorial and talk about this so that everybody understands, because I kind of feel like, I'm pulling a little bit from here and I'm pulling a little bit from here and I'm trying to give you something here. And I understand that that's probably a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So I'll have to talk to Danielle about, getting together and doing something new. Crafty Staff says, I got your book yesterday. Oh my God. Thank you. That's so cool. Girlfriend. So yeah, you're totally going to have the step outs for the, for sewing on, the clasp. But anyway, so the warps have disappeared here because I used that one technique. But on the other end, because I had tied off on the back button versus the side buttons. Listen, don't go anywhere. Hold on. I'm acting like I don't have a Jewel Loom in the house, right? Come on, there's like 500 of them. So what I'm referring to, let me get the let me get the loom in here. All right. These are the side buttons. Okay. So when I talk about the side buttons on the Jewel Loom, and when I talk about warping and getting started, you can do that by tying on to the left side button or the right side button. But you can also start your project by tying off to the back button. And I have gotten used to just tying off on the back button. And Danielle ties off on the side. Now, here's the difference. If you tie off on the side and you end on one of the sides, then your warps are continuous and you don't have a knot back here. So again, all of this will make sense. Go watch the video and you'll get it. And in case you're not getting it, because I know you all are super smart. So, but you know, if you're new, you're just, again, you're probably like, what's this girl talking about? So that's just that. And we will definitely work on a demonstration that you know, has all of that in one video so that you're not chasing squirrels. So what happens when you do tie off on the back, and you're going to have like all these warps. Whoops, where am I going here? You know what, Joan, can you take me off and just put the overhead on? I'm going to put the light on really quick. Okay, let me get this light on so that we can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I have already sewn a lot of the warps back in to the body of this bracelet. And what I'm going to do first, because I got two going here, I've got needles on each one. And I just want to remind myself, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one where it's at, and I'm just going to put my needle over into the cloth here, but I'm going to bring this guy over and I'm going to sew it. I'm going to weave it back through through the beads here. So now you see that's disappeared from the top. And then I'm just going to secure it by coming back through, whoops, back through those rows. Marlon Brando is in the house and he is snoring. We had super great blood work done and some tests, and his liver enzymes have gone from definite elevation to completely normal. And so I have worked so hard with this dog. You have no idea. I was telling Joan yesterday, he was so up in my business and just making me crazy. And I was just like, oh my God. But anyway, the good news because of that also is that he's healthy enough finally to get fixed, which means that he can go to doggy daycare and get some of that French bulldog, you know, craziness out of his system, because he was just, oh my God, he was making me crazy yesterday. Okay, so I'm just going to very carefully burn this off. And I'll wait to go back when I'm off camera to just like make that even more flat. So I'm going to turn the piece over, and I'm going to use the thread from one of those very long warps. Okay. And wait, Rhonda says, I just bought your last book on Amazon stock. What do you mean my last one? Oh my God, you're freaking me out. What does that mean? You just mean like my last book, or you mean there's no more? Explain, Rhonda. I'm freaking out. Okay. So I decided to use a bead of a different color just so that you can see the process better. I was afraid that if I used this really gorgeous kind of cocoa colored bead that it would be hard for you to see. So I'm using these Rosaline, and these are 8-ohs. and I'm going to pick up one. Okay. And I'm going to bring my 4-strand clasp over, and I'm going to bring it through the backside of the hole and pick up one more 8-0. And then I'm going to bring the needle and thread and come out and in between the 4th and 5th bead. And then we'll pull that. So you do have to kind of give yourself some little wiggle room. And so you can always pull a little tighter. So again, I'm going to pick up another 8-0 and come from the back side and pick up another one. And so it's pretty simple process. You're just, you could use 11 O's if you wanted, but I like the chunky 8 O's. Okay. Whoops. Okay. I'm tied up in my hands here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so we got to pick one up. Pick up another one here. So basically, I'm just stitching it on. Wow, why is it so tight? Come on, buddy. There we go. Just got to get that at the right angle. And got one more strand here. And then we're going to go out. And then I'm going to come down to that second row. And I really want to get this nice and secure. So there's the first one. And it kind of looks fun with the little bubbly. It's kind of hard to see, but you have like all the 8 O's, just make it look like a design element to the closure. And I'm going to come back up through that first row. And I'm going to have to come out that one guy just to go back in this guy because he got a little crooked for some reason. Okay. And we'll just see how much thread do I have. Yeah, it's getting really tight. And awesome. Okay. And then I'm just going to come up and out and grab onto the warp there. Let me bring that up to see if you can see. There we go. So I'm just making like a little knot. Okay. And then I'll just burn that off, and then I'll go back and trim up. Okay. Now, here's a little tip. So when you go to do the other side, all right, let me bring in the finished one here really quick. So when you go to do the other side, it's really important that your clasp, when you separate it, okay, because remember it's 2 pieces, that they be positioned correctly. So you see how you have the flat head on this one end and it's facing up? You want the other one, okay, to be facing towards your body so that when you go to put it on, it slides together correctly. Okay, makes sense? So again, when you're sewing it on, flat side on one end is facing away from you, and the other end, the flat side, is facing towards you. And then that way, when you go to put it together, it actually works for you. Okay. And so I've actually got this one going backwards because I was hiding my loops. There we go. So it's actually a really nice way to finish your bracelet. This is a 4-strand, but I've also got it in the 2-strand and I have it in the 3-strand. And I believe they're in the shop for $2 a piece. So one piece would be equal to, what you see here. That's a piece. Okay. So I just wanted to point out that little tip because now I'm going to do the other side. Of course, I'm in the process of cleaning up and reorganizing. I got to find my wildfire here. So I'm using wildfire. This is the green. Whoops, let me get it into the shot. It is 0.006. And I'm just going to cut. Let's see. Are those clasps easy to get on and off? I never used them thinking they would be difficult to do by yourself. Another tip, Lisa, that came to me about these clasps is that I would prefer that that ultimately my bracelet be a little loose compared to it being worn tight, because to your point, it is a little challenging to maneuver if it's too tight. So I would say, add some extra rows and it'll be easier because there's not much to grab onto. And so I think you're thinking, your concern or however you want to call it is valid. And so my tip for that is to make your bracelet a little bit like, I don't know, maybe like a half an inch longer. So what I just did there, by the way, I know sometimes I move really quick. I took the end of the wildfire and I took my flat nose pliers and I smush it. And I do that because there are times when it's challenging to get through the Jewel Loom needle because the eye of the needle is small. So thank you, thread gods. Oh, and I just pulled myself right out. I always leave mine clasped so I don't mess up. You could do that too. Totally. Okay, don't pull yourself back out. So what Sandy is saying is that instead of taking this piece off and sewing it on, she just leaves it all together and then she, does that. And that's fine. If that's comfortable for you to sew it on as, when it's closed, then cool beans. I guess I could try that. I'll try that for giggles. Okay, so I have to anchor a new piece of thread. And whoops, see, look at I almost screwed up. Okay, so I want to go in. So I'm going to come in the 3rd row. And I'm just going to anchor a new piece of thread here. And then I'm going to come up the 2nd. Okay. And then I'm going to go through the 1st and the 2nd bead. And I'm going to pick up an 8-0, and then I'm going to go through the back side here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it your way, dear. I'm trying to be cool and I don't know. Let's see. Let me see if I can figure it out. Okay, so I just picked up another one. And then I'm going to go into the side and out. I don't know, maybe I will be able to do it. Okay, so pick up and go through the back. Whoopsie. All right. Looks like I'm challenging myself. Thank you for the challenge. I love it. Okay, so drop that. And so it's like I'm skipping two, you know, two beads. I'm just trying to keep it keep the clasp positioned well. It goes pretty quick. So, it's a nice finished look, and it comes together rather quickly. Oh, so funny. Look, okay, there we go. Got to bend it a little bit. Oh. Okay, so I just want to make sure all of that is pulled nice and tight. Straighten it out. And then I'm going to go back through those rows to make sure everything is nice and centered here. Come here, buddy. Okay, so let me see, where am I? And then I'm just going to tie off here. I'm going to grab one of the warps. Yeah, go back through. And again, I'm just going to go back and clean up these pieces. And then there you go. Pretty fast and easy. I mean, it's not not too hard to do. You could always do some of the hypo cement if you wanted to, just for giggles, to make sure that it was nice and nice and tight. I'm gonna do I always call it a Meredith, not Maryland. There we go. Little Meredith knot, and voila. Yeah, they're really pretty. This is a Rosaline Ado, and I don't know the exact name of this brown bead. Believe it or not, this piece had been on a loom like forever. In fact, the loom I took it off of today actually had my married name on it. So that just tells you how long it had been, like 13 years, 12 years sitting on the loom. And I just took it off. So yay. All right, Joan, I'm going to get this horrible light off my face and come back on. So yeah, easy peasy. I love these. Super cool. Again, I would just say to definitely consider making it a little bit, let's see. Yeah. So, like if I tried to do this right now, I would probably need, oh, no, it worked. I mean, it's a little snug. It's a little snug. It's pinching my little chunkies. So I would probably add, I would probably have added 4 extra rows. Four or two. Trying to act like, oh, yeah, like I'm always out like, hey. So yeah, I would do 4. I would do 4 extra rows if I'm going to do this clasp. I took this piece off of a loom. Like I said, that literally was one of my demo looms from 12 years ago. So It fits, but it's a little snug. So I would probably, if I was going to do the clasp, I would do 4 extra rows of seed beads. So yeah, it is easy, huh? Yeah. I sometimes forget. I've gotten so, I was thinking about it today. I was like, Jules, have you gotten lazy about your closures? Because I'm so, what is the word? I just enjoy warping with hemp cord, and the hemp cord lends itself to a button type of closure, and it's like the easiest way ever to finish your project. And so I was just like having a little conversation with myself, like, did you get lazy? Because you used to. I learned how to do this while I was working at Aleen's Creative Living. And so I learned by sewing on a clasp. That's all I ever did. If you look at any of my work from 25, 30, whatever years ago, um, I did nothing but sew on clasps. So, but then I got introduced to this whole idea of warping with hemp cord and all those wood buttons that Robert makes, and I was just like, oh. So anyway, this was a good exercise for me, and a good a good memory of what I used to do. And so, and it looks really great. I love it. It's very sturdy. It makes your project look I think, like, for instance, with this group of beads, I don't know that I would have wanted to warp with hemp and then used a button. I feel like this was really good. So, okay. I want to encourage those who are new to bead looms to give the Jewel Loom a try. I was so intimidated for many years. Oh my God, you're going to make me cry. That is awesome. You go, girl. I love that. Thank you. And it's true. I think a lot of people buy the loom and then they sit there and look at it. Like, is it gonna make me something? And so yeah, it is. You try it. That's why I say easiest entry point is the baby loom, because it doesn't include, you don't have to worry about the rod. It's not going to cost you a lot to try. And you can practice your warping and your wefts. And then the original Jewel Loom just kills it with the warp. Once you do get how to put the rod in, how to warp the loom. Which, by the way, tomorrow on Bella Craft Publishing, on their Facebook page, I am going to be their guest, and we are going to be working with the Jewel Loom starter kit. And I'm going to be making a bracelet using hemp cord and a button. I'm sorry. I'm a hemp teak girl. I've said that before, and I need a t-shirt. But that's the starter kit. That's what comes with the starter kit. You get 100 beads, you get hemp cord, and you get a wood button, really pretty wood button. And 106 millimeter fire polished beads, the Jewel Loom, the baby Jewel Loom, Jewel Loom needles. And if I'm not mistaken, it's in the shop for $25. There are 50 left, and don't go anywhere. And okay, I'm going to let you out. We're in the middle of a live, but I'm going to let you out. All right. The prince wanted out. So, okay. So we cut a bunch of, we talked about this last time. It's, you put it in your drawers. You put it in the drawers so your stuff doesn't, slide around. And it's awesome for the Jewel Loom, because the Jewel Loom's like its mama. It's got a little wiggle butt. And so if you work on it with this material, it helps. So anyway, we cut a piece of this for all of those kits. There's only 50 of them left. And again, they're $25 if you're looking for holiday gifts. after these are gone, that's it. I'm doing a whole new configuration for next year. I'm not even like dealing with it for this year. So those need to go and they need homes and they're at like the most amazing price. And tomorrow at noon, June, now I'm going to call you June. Joan, am I on at noon tomorrow? Yes. Okay. So noon tomorrow, Bella Crafts Publishing. We've been putting event thingies everywhere. Is that noon Pacific Standard Time or okay. Okay. So Pacific Standard Time, that would be California, any other West Coast state. Um, and Bella Crafts Publishing, their Facebook group. It'll be live. I'm sure we're going to share it everywhere. I will be demoing the Jewel Loom starter kit. And yeah, so tune into that, especially if you're new and you're like, what's this girl talking about? And I'm a little scared of that. And I'm going to show you how not to be scared. Okay. So make sure you do that. And then we're back here on Thursday at 4 Pacific Standard Time. And am I doing hemp? I'm doing the hemp cord, right? The earrings. Yeah. So yeah, it's a busy week. It's a really busy week. Lots and lots and lots of fun. So let's see what's going on. And can you text us about tomorrow? Yeah. Can we? Yes. Joan is saying yes, we can. Yeah. By the way, if you're not in the texting community, you should be because it's how we communicate a lot for reminders. And it's also a way for you to communicate with me. Who is I? A couple of people. I just have such, my Friday night dates are me in my bed. Uh, and so I know I was talking to a couple people over the weekend who needed help. And so we were texting, I don't know, it was like 10 o'clock my time at night. So, and that's, if I can, I answer at night, but sometimes I have a life. Believe, very few times. But my point is that the texting community is awesome, there to help you. So please do that. And Joan, what was that question about wire?
Did you do the wireworks stuff? I don't know if that was aimed at you or to somebody else because I didn't know what they're talking about.
Are you talking about the wire packs that I mentioned last week? Probably. Yeah. So, Joan, you could get rid of my overhead if you want. Okay. So I mentioned last week that my mom has a plethora. Like that's a lot, right? Like, so way back in the day, when I brought artistic wire into the industry with Jack O'Brien, the creator, innovator, amazing, awesome sauce man from Chicago, who was artistic wire. We both, my mother and I, worked with that company. And so my mom has a lot of original artistic wire that she has decided to let go of because she can no longer do things. And so what we're trying to figure out is, and she's got it spread out in the living room and we got boxes and we're trying to figure it out. There's, the bigger spools that are like this. There's these guys, there's bobbins, there's 38 gauge, there's 18 gauge, there's 24 gauge, there's colored copper wire, there's silver color coppered wire. I don't know how to offer it. I'm just going to be honest. Because it's like, oh my gosh, what do we do? Like for reals. So, kind of looking at the subscription box right now, which is 6 by 4 by 2, and seeing what can go in there. There were 12 spools of wire in one of those boxes. And so then the next thing I need to do is weigh that, right? Because it's wire. And then the next thing is to determine, well, what is the value, and then what is a great price for you, I don't know, throw some stuff out at me. Help a girl out. Help a girl move some wire. So, yeah. Yeah. There's some spools that I'm just like, it's so hard for me to let them go because oh my God. But I too have a little bit hard of a time with the heavier stuff, not the thinner stuff. But I am keeping some for the Creative Soul members. So we will definitely be warping with wire at some point in the ball game. So I'm keeping the silver, literally the silver, non-tarnished silver wire for a project. But other than that, yeah, we want to sell it. So yeah, so you can maybe even just text me and say, "Hey, I'm interested in XYZ." I don't know really how to get rid of I don't get rid of it. I don't know how to sell it. I should know how to sell it. I will know how to sell it, but it's a lot. Joan's probably sitting there going, "I'm gonna tell you how to sell it, girl." No, sure, her hands are up in the air. So, okay. You could do like a grab bag. Okay, that's exactly what I was thinking, Steph. But you know, I don't know, throw some stuff out to me. So like if you had a 6x4x2 subscription box full of 12 different spools of gauges, of colors, of wire, I mean, oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. We got an example in the house. So that would be full. So we got 12 spools fit in there. We took it back in the house. I don't even have it here. And yeah, I could go to Beeline and check out the prices for sure. It's expensive though these days, it's expensive and I'm just trying to do something that's fair and buys treats for Marlon Brando. Okay. Sabrina's going to rewatch. She's been doing stuff around the house. Awesome. All right. Well, I don't know. Any thoughts, Joe?
No, I didn't mean to add myself. I was trying to take a message off.
Oh, no, we love when you add yourself. So, yeah, some people are saying grab bags.
That'll be fun. I always love grab bags.
What is a good grab bag price these days?
I don't know because I'm not even sure. I have so much artistic wire stash. I'm not even sure what it's selling for right now. Do you know?
Yeah. It's definitely random in price because of gauge and because of coding and what have you. But this is artistic wire from back in the day too. So I don't know. Throw some ideas at me. Be reasonable.
Go to Beeline.
You can text me what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I was even thinking about checking the prices of the some of the hot the craft stores because they sometimes sell them a little bit cheaper than the Beeline website.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. So I'm working.
But did you say the big spools too? Because it's going to take up all of the box. So that would have to be probably sold at a higher rate because those big spools hold a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's a plethora. It's almost a little overwhelming, but we're not going to keep carrying it around.
Right.
So, yeah. So I'll do a little bit more homework and we'll come up with something. Idea. Put heavier for wire wrappers in a box and thinner for beading. Oh, is that legit, Deborah?
For like 22 to 18 in one box and anything thinner than 22, like 24 on that. As for the
okay.
Well, 24 you'd use for wire wrapping. You'd wrap it around the frame.
Oh, do you?
Too, but
28. For wire wrapping, I'm thinking 18, 20, 22.
Yeah, it depends on the type of wire wrapping, I guess.
Okay.
But once I get above 26, I don't use it.
Oh.
Unless there's crafts where you could twist them together or use them on your artistic wire, whatever they call it, coiling gizmo or something like that.
Yeah, the coiling, right. Beeline had a $25 grab bag. Okay.
But they had tools in there. I told Jules about that. They had tools and
Mhm.
other things in it too, besides wire.
Okay. Copper for bales. Okay. Okay. Well, those are all awesome suggestions. And wrapping for me would be 24 to 28. Yeah. So it reminds me of when I was in Prague and Joblanex, when we moved on to Joblanex and we went to the antique store, and the character that owns the antique place. Oh my God. Are you the sexiest thing with a
Yeah,
cowboy hat?
I'm sorry. I was seeing if it would help that glare
Oh,
because you keep saying it's my glasses.
yeah. I don't know what that glare is. That's so witty.
Yeah,
Anyway,
sorry.
no, it's just too funny. And
It's
28
just
and
me
30
going
is,
off on something.
yeah, for
You're in
Kumahimo.
Prague.
And you can crochet with those thin ones too, Rhonda. So there's such a plethora of, yeah. We'll go through it. We'll figure it out. But it's gorgeous. So anyway,
What were
okay.
you saying about Prague? Because I interrupted you with my
Oh, no,
hat.
no, no. I was just saying that it kind of reminded me of like when I was at the antique shop in Jablanex, and we were all going through his things. He had drawers full of antique buttons, and I mean, it was just amazing. And he was meeting, he only opened up for us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I kind of was like, oh, how could I just like meet with people and go, here's all the wire I have. What do you want? Yeah. Take an appointment and let me show you what I got. And then, and just go from there. But that could take a little bit longer than I have time for. So anyway, listen, it would be amazing if you all can make it, tomorrow. Think if you can. If not, watch the replay over at Bella Crafts. We'll definitely text everybody. And if you've not signed up for their free magazine, now they're definitely heavier on general craft, meaning paper crafting, card making. Um, they do a lot of things with die cuts, like with Sizzix. They do a lot of some general craft stuff, but the magazine is free and there's always a ton of project ideas. So if you dabble outside of what you're doing, or somebody, sign up for the free mag because it's awesome. We're going to be advertising in it, and I'm going to be getting some general crafters hooked on looming.
Let them know we're trying to figure out ways that we could use the loom in paper crafts too.
Yes, and we were talking about that, about doing
Yeah.
some, and we have in the past, but it's got to be reborn. And look at you with all of it. Are those all Jewel Loom bracelets you have on?
Yeah, I thought, oh, I'm going to put
Oh
them
my
on. I didn't mean to
God.
do it to show off, but yeah, got my
No,
sparkles on.
you need to show off.
I had my rings too
Oh
on the
my God.
appropriate fingers. Yeah.
So funny. Oh my God, you are so funny.
Even got a necklace.
Oh my, I love you. And who has nothing? Who has
I
nothing?
know.
I have nothing. I have the wood earrings. I have
Yeah.
nothing on. That's
I
okay
just
though.
Okay, I just thought I was playing right before the show, so
No, I love that you showed up and represented. It's awesome. I obviously forgot to get dressed. Oh my gosh. All right. I got to go. I'm super stoked, by the way, if you've not seen the picture for July's meditation prayer pouch for this month's workshop. It is amazing. I did cut up some of the fabric from Singapore. It wasn't the fabric I thought, because it just it wouldn't make any sense. It's that gorgeous. There's a proper word. I'll have to ask Padma. There's a proper word for the attire that is made that the women wear in India. There's a word
Sorry?
for it.
It's
I
not the
don't know.
sorry?
I don't know that it's that.
Because I know
But
that's what the
anyway,
silks is from the leftovers of making that
yeah,
wrap,
this is
something
fabric
different.
that's, I don't know. I'll have to just show it someday. But anyway, Hori, is that Hori? Rhonda is saying Houri. Ori.
Oh,
So it's,
okay.
yeah, it's the whole outfit that these beautiful women wear, and the fabric just did not, you could never have cut it for it to have made sense. So I took some other fabric I bought in Singapore, and it's in the picture. And if you're wondering what the fabric is for, when we do the meditation prayer pouch, you have the option of lining it with fabric. You don't
Oh,
have to, and it can be fabric from your stash, or maybe a special piece of clothing or whatever. And I just thought, well, this is silly. This fabric's been sitting in here since 2009 when I went to Singapore. And so, yeah, so we cut it all up into a square, and yeah, that comes with a kit. Some sorry ribbon comes with a kit, a buttload of check glass beads, Jasper gemstones. They're chunkies. Oh
ooh.
my God, they're delightful. I'm even going to pinch some other little stones that I have. I'm going to put them all into a special little baggie so they don't get caught up. And yeah, and so I did make extra kits this month. And so if you're not a subscriber, you will have an opportunity to, as my hair's like finding its way into my mouth, you'll have an opportunity to get a kit. So but those are up now. And I know my subscribers right now are going to fall out of their chairs. I'm actually ahead of the ball game, and it looks like they might actually go out this week. So thank you for loving me. I really love you. You know I do. I do my best. So, all right, guys and girls. Oh yeah, we have to remember, we have to give love to everybody. Mwah. Love, 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 love. Love our community so very much. I will see you tomorrow. And the controls will be by the Bella Craft people. And so Joan, I don't think you won't. Yeah.
Unless something happens, I'll be there. And I mean, in case
You
somebody asks a question, but I don't know how
okay.
many pages they posted on. You
Yeah.
know,
Okay. Yeah.
if
No,
it's
that's
just their
awesome.
one page, at least maybe if somebody asks a question about Jewel Loom or something, I can answer that.
Oh, thank you. You're the bestest. You are the bestest. All right, everyone. Have a fabulous night. I'm hungry, and then I got to go back to work.
Okay. Well, don't work late into the night.
Nah.
No. Hey, it's 7:58. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Hey, you know what? That should just be a good example of like how, this is not all that tedious and crazy to do, right? I mean,
And
pretty
you've been
simple.
talking for quite a while. You've been done with it for a while.
I know my cheeks hurt.
I'm not going to ask which ones. Well, we'll let you go to go eat.
Okay, mama.
Okay, love you guys.
All right,
Bye.
love you.